and let it go. Keep turning, step around. Keep turning.
And because Jake Paul doesn't know better. He can't learn how to win that front foot challenge by the time he fights Tank is a southpaw. If he, just like Terrence Crawford did against Nello, he gets on the outside of Jake, and that left is coming down the pipe all night while he stays away from Jake's right hand, it should be an easy fight for him.
You got a guy, Jake Paul, that's what, 6'3", 6'4", almost? Then you got a guy, Gervonta Davis, that's like 5'5", a little guy. Yeah. Y'all gonna try to, who's 200 pounds, just for Mike Tyson there, I'm gonna throw him in there with a 135. It's just a circus.
Terrence Crawford has reportedly been sparring with Gervonta Davis in preparation for Davis's upcoming fight against Jake Paul. During their training sessions, both fighters have been seen exchanging sharp techniques and powerful combinations, with Crawford's trademark precision and defensive mastery pushing Davis to adapt and elevate his performance. The intensity of these sessions has generated major excitement among fans, many of whom believe that working with a champion of Crawford's caliber could give Davis a significant edge when he steps into the ring with Jake Paul.
Stop closing up and let it go. Keep turning, step around. Keep turning.
The Weight Concept podcast host noted a significant shift in Gervonta Davis's attitude and effort as he prepares for his upcoming fight against Jake Paul. According to the host, Davis's sparring sessions and gym routines now carry a sharper intensity, reflecting a new level of focus and determination. Unlike past training camps where Davis often appeared relaxed and playful, he's now completely locked in, every punch, drill, and movement fueled by the desire to silence critics who dismiss the matchup as mere publicity. The host described Davis as training with a killer mindset, not just aiming to win, but to knock Jake Paul out. His workouts showcase explosive energy, quick footwork, and powerful combinations designed to overcome Paul's size advantage, signaling Davis's intent to prove that true dominance comes from skill and grit, not stature.
That's how you get better. But Jake's, obviously sparring smaller guys. Seeing not only what weapons they bring to a sparring session because, they're not as big in stature. There's going to be a 60-pound weight difference probably. Actually, a little bit of update on that today as well. Tank's looking a little bigger than I've normally seen him. We'll talk about that in a second. But obviously, Jake is going to work with some of the better guys in the smaller weight classes to get prepared for what Tank could potentially bring. Now, Tank is a one-of-one in that respect, so it's difficult sometimes to prepare yourself in that same way. But on that same note, we have a couple new things out from Tank Davis. Number one, it's not necessarily new, but the last kind of work we've seen from Tank, just in general, is this video right here. Just chopping the bag, turning over shots. Chopping to the body, every shot to the midsection. Now again, not to read too much into things, but we go back to this video, and I don't know what's being said here between Ray and Jake, but he's telling him, something with the high guard, don't even do that. I'm trying to draw a parallel between potentially what Ray Ford did to Jake in this spar and what could potentially be going down in Tank's camp that can line up the dots. Again, we don't have a lot to go off of. What we generally think may happen in this fight is that Jake Paul will probably use his size, his frame, and his power to try to land big shots, not throw a ton of punches, and not gas himself out against Tank, who, again, this is an exhibition. Yes, there'll be judges, and someone, I guess, will win, is what they're saying. But does that mean that someone actually has a win-loss on their record? No, because you can't sanction something like this in a pro fight. Tank, on the other hand, who already is a low-output puncher, is going to look to utilize his speed, his head movement, his quickness, his agility, his angles, his footwork, his defense to offense transition, and vice versa, to catch Jake when he does eventually open up with bigger punches and make him pay. Also, he's going to look to slow Jake down and potentially work him into those later rounds to where Tank can still be explosive. And when I look at this little exchange from Jake and Ray Ford, again, I could be completely missing the read here. Ray is either telling him, this is what you need to do, or this is what I was able to do to you because of, we go back here, because of this high guard, I was able to get to your body. Something like that maybe. Or it could be, again, I could be just completely missing it. And then you see this from Tank. All body work. Just hammers to the body. Level changes, head off center, angle switch, all that work in the bag. That was one of the more recent videos we saw.
Showbiz the Adult offered a sharp perspective on one of the fight's most debated topics, the height and reach difference between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. He reminded fans that Davis has already faced opponents with similar, if not greater, physical advantages. According to Showbiz, the gap between Jake and Tank isn't as significant as many believe. He pointed out that if Davis was able to reach and defeat Mario Barrios, who was taller and more experienced than Jake Paul, there's no reason he can't close the distance in this matchup. Showbiz emphasized that Davis's knockout victory over Barrios proves his ability to dismantle larger opponents through timing and precision. While Jake may have the size advantage, Showbiz argued he lacks the defensive instincts and ring IQ of seasoned boxers like Barrios. Once Davis finds his rhythm, Showbiz believes he can neutralize Jake's reach and ultimately turn the size difference into an advantage of his own.
Look at that. Did he reach him? He sure did. Look at the height, 6 feet and 6'1". The height comparison ain't much different. And the thing is, if you look at him, the thing is, look at how Tank shows that he can reach him. See that push? Look where Tank's hand is. Look at where Jake's chin is. He can reach him. In reaching him, though, can he hurt him? The gloves are big. You get what I'm saying? Jake Paul is a big guy. They're going to be fighting at 195. When Jake Paul gets in the ring, he's going to be 200 plus. All right? He may be around 210. Think Jake's going night-night? Okay. Tank studying? Okay. Let's look at Tank. That was just a couple days ago. They captured that just a couple days ago, him training for Jake. Of course, that's a 300-pound boxing bag, a heavy bag, 300 pounds. So he's swinging it. Let's look at Gervonta and look at Barrios. Let's look at a few highlights here. He can reach 6 feet, no problem, let alone 6'1". Ain't gonna be that much of a difference, all right? Let's break down what we saw here. Let's think about this. Let's think about it. Now that we know he's reaching, let's think about this. Who's a more skillful fighter, Barrios or Jake Paul? Ain't even a damn question. Barrios a far more skillful fighter than Jake. Who has better reflexes, Barrios or Jake Paul? Barrios. Barrios has better reflexes. Okay.
Terrence Crawford offered a balanced perspective on the potential outcome of the fight between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. He acknowledged that Davis possesses extraordinary punching power and elite boxing instincts, but he also recognized that Jake Paul's size gives him a legitimate chance to win. According to Crawford, the fight could go either way depending on how each fighter uses his strengths, Davis with his speed, explosiveness, and accuracy, and Paul with his reach, height, and solid chin. Crawford's comments reflected respect for both men, noting that Davis's power could shock Jake if he lands cleanly, while Jake's ability to maintain distance and use his jab effectively could make the fight difficult for Tank. It's a realistic assessment from a champion who understands that, regardless of skill level, physical advantages can still play a major role in determining the outcome.
Tank is very talented, punch hard, explosive, the whole 9 yards, but Jake too big for Tank. In reality, he's way too big for Tank. I think Jake by you.